Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves baseball. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Friday, May 1st. Happy May. May bring us some more good Atlanta Braves baseball. To end the month of April, the Braves win another series. They go the entire month of April without losing a series. That streak is still intact. We're going to talk about that. Great comeback win in game 2 of the series that just passed with the Detroit Tigers. Braves win game 1, they win game 2 in walk-off fashion. That cemented that series win. A little bit of a shaky game in game 3 of the 3-game set. We're going to talk about that as well. But again, you can't win them all. You can't win every single game. But we're going to see what went wrong in that final game of the 3-game set. They got a 9-game road trip out west that's going to be starting tonight. First stop is Colorado. The Colorado Rockies will be hosting the Braves, and the Braves head to Seattle for 3 games with the Mariners and then 3 games with the LA Dodgers. That is one that we're definitely looking forward to, just to see where we're all, just to see how we fare against them, how we match up against them so far this season. So we'll see how that goes, but that's a little bit further ahead. We're going to preview that Rockies series when we get to the Braves forecast. We're going to talk about the Detroit Tigers series in our first segment when we get to Tomahawk Takes. And then we're going to take a brief stop and check what's going on around the league when we get to the MLB. Make sure to continue to follow the show. We appreciate your support. Follow at the Chop Seat Pod on Instagram, and then at the Chop Seat on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. I always get all those mixed up. I always try to get it right. But yeah, so April was great. Braves end of April and start in May with the best record in the league, not in the National League only, in the entire major league. So that's definitely, I keep saying it, it's a complete 180 from how the Braves started last year's season at 0-7. So big difference. But yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that. So let's go into our first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, and as always, Tomahawk Takes is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPSEAT20, and you're going to save yourself $20 off your very first purchase on SeatGeek. Use CHOPSEAT20 to buy any sporting event tickets, any concert tickets, any shows. Put in code CHOPSEAT20, and you're definitely going to save yourself $20 off your first purchase. If you use the code, let me know in the comments so I can thank you personally. We appreciate when you use code CHOPSEAT20. So we're going to get into the series that just went down with the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers came in with a 15-14 record. They were atop the American League Central Division. Braves were coming in at 20. I'm over here bugging out already. Braves were coming in at 20-9 to start this series. On the mound for the Detroit Tigers, it was Casey, not Casey. It was Casey Mize with a 2-1 record. He was coming into the ball game. He ended up leaving the game early. He only went 2 in the third, 3 hits, 2 runs allowed, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He took the L in this one. He's now 2-2 with a 2.90 ERA. Martin Perez, he threw 5 shutout innings for the Braves, 2 hits, 4 walks, 5 strikeouts. He gets the win. That's the second one of the season for him. He's now 2-1 with a 2.22 ERA. Didier Fuentes came in relief, then Tyler Kinley, and then Aaron Bummer pitched the final inning of the ball game. But this is how the action went down. Bottom of the third inning, Ronald Acuna with Yaz on second. He hits a double down the left field line. That's the second double of the game for Ronald Acuna Jr. Yaz scores on that one. It's 1-0 Braves, and Drake Baldwin with a little tapper back to the pitcher, Casey Mize. Mize, he gets hurt on the play. He came out of the game with a right groin tightness. And then it was after that, it was the Detroit Tigers bullpen trying to eat up some innings the entire way. Acuna advanced to third on that same play. Herder, he comes in for the Tigers. Matt Olson lines one out to the center field. Acuna tags up. That gives the Braves a 2-0 lead. And they lost Javier Baez, Javier Baez later on in the top of the fifth, I think it was, with a leg injury. He was tried to slide into first. It was a little late. And it was just, they had to get the stretcher out. They had to drive him out the field. And honestly, I didn't follow up with his injury, so I'm not really too sure. I should have probably done that before starting this episode, but I did not. But yeah, they lost Javi Baez in that ball game as well. And it didn't look good again because he could not put any weight on that leg. He could not put any weight at all. So they ended up carting the guy off. And and I felt so much pressure for the guy driving that cart, man, because like everyone was waiting for him. Everybody was watching him. And then when he picked up Javi, and then he was like, he had to like back up a little bit, turn the wheel all the way to the right, back up again. Everyone's watching you, bro. He can't get can't really get on the grass. Also, he got to try and sit on the dirt. That thing was hilarious, bro. Like it was just, I'm like, yo, I'm glad that's not me driving that cart, because I would have been just, I don't know what I would have done, bro. I probably would have just got out the car and been like, yo, I can't do this, bro. Because literally everyone in the stadium was watching this guy. But anyways, he did his job. The guy did his job. He took Javi Baez out to the back, and the rest is history. Hopefully he's able to recuperate soon from that injury. But then no action there until the bottom of the seventh. After this point, the Braves, they had 4 hits, and all those 4 hits were doubles in the ball game. Mauricio Dubon, he was on second base. Mike Yastrzemski, he hits the first single of the game for the Braves. That drives in Mauricio Dubon. That makes it 3-0 Braves. Bottom of the 8th, Matt Olson with a double. That was a 5th double of the game for the Braves. Doubles on doubles in this one. Then Ozzie Albies, he was batting cleanup in this game. He hits one out to left field. That's a home run for Ozzie. That's 5-0 Braves. Nice little insurance run. Because in the top of the ninth, Aaron Bummer, he comes in and he gives up a 2-run homer. But imagine Ozzie doesn't hit that homer. It would have been 3-2 to that point. But he did get that 2-run homer there, so that gave the Braves a little extra cushion. That's the final score of the game, 5-2. The Braves improved to 21-9 after this win. That's their best 30-game start since 2000. Ronald Acuna Jr., 2 for 4 in this ball game, 2 doubles and an RBI. Ozzie Albies, 1 for 3 with a home run. That's 2 RBIs with that home run. That's the way game 1 went down. Next game, the second game of the 3-game set. Tarek Skubal on the mound, Cy Young winner. 7 innings for him, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 7 Ks. He now has a 2.70 ERA. J.R. Ritchie was going up against him, making his second start of his career. He goes 5 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 of those earned, 4 walks, 4 Ks. He now has a 2.92 ERA. Dylan Lee came out the bullpen. He won an inning and a third with 4 Ks. And Reynaldo Lopez came in 2 innings and 2 strikeouts. Nice work from them 2 right there. Bottom of the first, Ozzie Albies from the right side against the lefty Skubal. Almost identical to the homer he hit the previous game in the bottom of the 8th inning. He hits one out to left field. That's another home run. That goes over the wall. Home run number 7 of the season for Ozzie. He stays hot. That makes it 2-0 Braves. Top of the second, the Tigers, they do tie it up. Kevin McGonigal with an RBI single. That makes it 2-1. And then a bad pickoff throw by J.R. Ritchie. Throw gets away. Runner on third scores. Runner on first advances. That makes it a 2-2 ball game. Top of the third, Riley Green. He hits a homer out to center field. That makes it 3-2 Detroit Tigers. And that was dead center. Dead center power there by Riley Green. And there was no scoring there. It was a 3-2 game at that point. Tigers leading, right? Tigers leading. But with this Braves ball club, if you're down, you feel like you still have a chance. You really do feel like you still have a chance. Bottom of the 9th inning, Like I said, there was no scoring up to this point. After the top of the third inning, Ozzy Albies, he draws a walk against our old friend, his friend, Kenley Jansen, former Brave. And then Matt Olson comes up next. It's a 1-2 pitch. Ozzy's actually stealing on this pitch. It's a 1-2 cutter. Matt Olson sends it out to deep right field, a majestic shot. It goes over the wall. That's the ball game. The Braves win 4-3. Walk off in the bottom of the ninth. They survive Terry Skubal and the Detroit Tigers, and they win the ball game. That's the second win of the series. They improved to 22-9. Drake Baldwin 2 for 4 in the game with a run scored. Ozzy Albies 1 for 3, 2 RBIs. Of course, he had that homer, and then Matt Olson 2 for 4, 2 RBIs with that game-winning homer. That's the way the Braves. That's how the Braves win the second game of the series. These guys keep rolling, man. These guys keep rolling, and it was a great way. We saw how Walt Weiss handled the bullpen there. Dylan Lee comes in, goes an inning and a third, 4 Ks. Dylan Lee has been phenomenal. He's been phenomenal. Right now, the Lopez, remember, we had mentioned that they moved him into the bullpen to try and work on some mechanical issues. He goes 2 clean innings there with 2 strikeouts. Velocity is a little down compared to what he usually throws, but it gives us some depth right now, especially when we don't have Raisel Iglesias in right now. He's obviously on the IL, so it gives us a little depth when it comes to the bullpen, which is much needed right now. Much needed, and you'll see in Game 3 why this win was definitely needed. Sometimes you gotta go all in one of the games, and the next game your main guys may be down when it comes to the bullpen, and you just gotta try and figure it out. And that's what happened in the next game. The next game, it was started by Framber Valdez for the Houston Astros. I'm talking Houston Astros. That's crazy. For the Detroit Tigers, he goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 8 Ks. Very good start from him. He now has a 3.35 ERA. Bryce Elder just as good as well. Even better. 6 innings from him as well. 6 hits, just 1 run, allowed 3 walks and 5 Ks. He now has a 1.88 ERA. Credit to Bryce Elder, man, because I've been knocking this dude for a minute. Pause. Let me. That sounded crazy, but I haven't been a big fan of his, man. I gotta be honest. But this year, bro, he looks completely different. He looks confident out there. He's keeping the Braves in the game every single start. He's doing his thing, bro. He's earned it. He has earned it. Hopefully he can keep it going and shut us up. Shut the haters up, man, because I was talking junk about him, honestly. I really did not. Every time he was starting, I'm like, bro, this is going to be a terrible game. He's about to get rocked, bro. We're losing this game automatically. But this year's completely different, bro. This year, he's on the mound, and you think, hey, we might be able to win this ball game. We might be able to win it. And again, he did his thing. So shout out to Bryce Elder. My apologies, my man. You've been doing your thing, so I'll take everything back. Just keep it up, bro. Just keep it up. Glad to see that you've had a good start to this 2026 season. For this game, Eli White was out in center field. Kyle Farmer out in DH. Jorge Mateo playing shortstop in this ball game. And I completely forgot about Kyle Farmer, guys. And I apologize because the last episode I was saying that the first guys that, were probably going to get dropped were either going to be Jorge Mateo or Eli White when Sean Murphy returns, if they do want to keep the 3 catchers on the roster with Jonah Heim. And I completely forgot about Kyle Farmer. Kyle Farmer has to be the odd man out for sure if they want to keep the 3 catchers when Sean Murphy returns. So, I mean, after, let's say when Ha-Seong Kim comes back, that'll be a little bit different. But when it comes to, Sean Murphy coming back, I think it's definitely going to be either Kyle Farmer or Jonah Heim. Most likely, I'm about 90% sure that it's probably going to be Kyle Farmer, and they're going to go with the 3-man catcher spot. But anyways, I completely forgot until I saw him starting in this game that we still had him. So this is how the action went down, though. Bottom of the second, Eli White, who got that start, comes up with 1 out, runners on first and second. He singles out to left field. Run scores there. That makes it 1-0 Braves. Bottom of the third, Mauricio Dubon with an RBI single. That plates Ozzie Albies. That makes it 2-0 Braves. Top of the sixth, 2 on and 2 out for Matt Verling. He singles 1 in. That makes it 2-1. Top of the eighth, Joel Payamps is in. And it goes downhill from here. Guys. Kerry Carpenter, he hits one out to deep center field. Eli White going back on it, tries to catch it, makes a leaping attempt, bounces off the wall. It's a leadoff triple. And to be honest, I if Michael Harris wasn't in the ball game, I think he would have caught this ball. I do think he would have caught this one. But again, he wasn't in. He was out with the tightness, the quad issue. So, Eli White was out there. And Eli White's not a terrible defensive player, but, Michael Harris is definitely above him when it comes to that. And he just missed this one, and it is what it is. But Joe Pines, they give up the hit. It's a leadoff triple there. Matt Vierling, he comes up. He hits a chopper over a leaping Austin Riley. Ball goes out to the outfield. That makes it a tie ball game. Then Aaron Bummer, he comes in a little bit later in the inning. Bases are loaded. Gleyber Torres, he flies one out to center field. 1 run scores there. They tag up. It's 3-2 Detroit. Top of the ninth, Jose Suarez now in the ball game. And you know what that means? That means some more runs are going to be scored by the opposing team. That's exactly what they do. They scored 2 more. That makes it 5-2 Detroit. It was a very bad sequence this inning for the Braves. There was like a ball sharply hit to Austin Riley. He can't come up with it. Ball goes out to the outfield. Mike Yastrzemski's coming in on it. Then it goes by him also. It was just a mess, bro. There was a terrible sequence there. Anyways, the Tigers scored 2. That makes it 5-2, and that's the final score, pretty much. That's how this ball game went down. Braves they take the early lead, and then the Tigers, they come clawing back. You got to put the B guys in, try to hold the game, try to hold the lead, and then you try to hold the tie. Then you try to hold just a 1-run deficit. They scored 2 more, and now you're down 3, and that was it, man. That was a game, but again, you won the previous game. You had your A guys. This game, you were not able to have those A guys in because all those guys were down. So you got to take it. You got to take it out sometime, and that's what happened in this ball game. Credit to the Tigers for coming back in this ball game and taking the victory. At least going back home. I think they're going back home. I'm not sure where they're going, but at least leaving Atlanta with 1 win and avoiding the sweep. But it's all good. Like I said, Braves win the series. Now they're going to be packing up. Well, they packed up right after that. They headed out to Colorado, where they will be playing later on in about an hour, 7:26 Eastern time, of course, right now. And then I think the first pitch is scheduled for 8:40 out in Colorado. So, again, Eastern start time. So, but something to keep an eye on, Austin Riley. We thought he was figuring things out. Philly and Washington. He goes 0 for 11 this series with 8 strikeouts. 0 for 11 with 8 strikeouts. I believe he's hitting 196 now. Or is it 197? Let me just double check that. I don't want to give you guys a wrong number. But it's under 200, bro. It's under the Mendoza line. So, it's not a good look, guys. Not a good look for our boy, Austin Riley. Yeah, he's hitting 190, actually, with a 5.88 OPS. So, you're going to the perfect place to try and turn it around, Colorado, where the ball flies. So you're going to the perfect place. But if you do struggle this series, if he struggles this series, you're probably going to have to give him a day off in Seattle or something like that. You might have to. And I think they dropped him off the lineup. We're going to go a little bit ahead right now. But the lineup, he is batting 6 right now in this ball game that's going to be starting later on. But you might have to drop him even a little bit more, bro. Might have to put him in the 7th spot, maybe even in the 8th spot if he continues to struggle. If you're not going to take him out of the game, just try to take some pressure off him and get him rolling again. But I think he's going to turn it around. You got to stop pulling that ball. You got to go. When he's hitting over there opposite field, bro, or heading towards that gap, that's when he's on. That's when he's cooking. And he was doing that the previous 2 series, but he's just been going downhill again. And hopefully he's able to turn it around. Michael Harris, he's not in the lineup tonight, still with that quad issue. So expect him to be DHing most of the series. But again, he is off tonight. Joe Payamps and Jose Suarez, they were DFA'd. If you were like me wondering, why is it taking so freaking long? It's over. They have been DFA'd. Righties, Hunter Stratton and Anthony Molina were called up to take over those 2 spots. And people were, throwing a fit. They were asking why wasn't James Karinchak brought up. He has no options, guys. So these 2 guys are probably going to be gone by the end of definitely one is going to be gone by Sunday's game when Spencer Strider's activated to pitch that game on Sunday. And I'm just going ahead. I'm getting ahead of myself. That was supposed to be the next piece of news. I'll just say it now. Spencer Strider, he is to make his season debut in Colorado on Sunday. He's going to be starting that ball game out there. First start this season, coming back from that oblique injury. So yes, so when they activate Spencer Strider, expect one of these 2 guys, either Hunter Stratton or Anthony Molina, to be sent down, DFA, whatever you want to call it. I think they have options though. These 2 guys have options, so yeah, they're going to be optioned down to AAA, whoever it is. And then when Raisel Iglesias gets activated from the IL as well, which is going to be pretty soon, I think he's eligible on the 5th. So when he's activated, the other guy is going to be the odd man out. So if you bring up James Karinchak, he has no options. You're going to have to obviously get rid of him. He's the odd man out. Everyone else is pretty secured right now. So these guys are going to be brought up for some depth. Hopefully you don't have a washout game where you're getting spanked. Hopefully it's the other way around. You're spanking someone and you just want these guys to eat up some innings, and then, just hopefully it's smooth sailing. Hopefully it's a nice, easy series. But every time we're in Colorado, it gets wacky, bro. Everyone starts hitting. It's like a freaking 11-10 ball game. It's just a back and forth slugfest. So we'll see. We're probably going to need the arms out there, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see how these 2 guys are able to do out there. But what do you guys think? How do you guys think Spencer Strider is going to do in his first start of the season on Sunday against the Colorado Rockies? Let me know in the comments. How do you think he will be performing on Sunday? Hassan Kim has also began his rehab. I think I said that the last episode. He's with Columbus right now. Sean Murphy is set to be activated for the Mariners series also. So I think his rehab ends on Sunday. So, Monday he should be activated. So that's what I was saying. Who do you guys think is going to be dropped off once Sean Murphy is activated? Is it Kyle Farmer? Is it Jonah Heim? Is it a surprise pick? Maybe Jorge Mateo? Let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. Like I said, I'm about 90% sure it's probably going to be Kyle Farmer. They're probably going to go the 3-man catcher rotation. That's what I'm guessing, but who knows? But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys are thinking. I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. That's all I got for the previous Braves series. And for the Braves news, that's all I have, I think, right? Let me just double check before I start taking off on you guys. Let me just double check because I'm over here getting ready to take off. Let's see. Yeah. That's it. That's all we got, guys. that is all we have for this segment. Now let's head into our next segment.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast, where we take a look at the upcoming Braves series. And the Braves are heading into Colorado. They're starting a 9-game West Coast road trip, starting at Colorado. Then they're heading to Seattle to face the Mariners, and then they're going to finish it off with the LA Dodgers. But right now, we're going to focus on this series against the Colorado Rockies. Braves coming into Colorado 22-10. The Rockies waiting for the Braves with a 14-18 record. Game 1 is going to be the righty Grant Holmes on the mound for the Braves. He's 2-1 with a 3.62 ERA. He's going up against the lefty veteran Jose Quintana, 1-2 record with a 4.91 ERA. That's game 1 tonight, 8:40 p.m. Game 2, our ace lefty Chris Sale on the mound. He's 5-1 with a 2.31 ERA. He's going up against the legend TBD. I don't know who the Rockies have going up as of right now, but just keep an eye on that one. They'll probably announce it early tomorrow or late tonight. But that game is slated for 8:10 p.m. And then game 3, like I said a few minutes ago, Spencer Strider, he's going to be making his first start of the season, coming back from that oblique injury. He's going up against the lefty veteran Kyle Freeland, who's 1-2 with a 3.48 ERA. The Braves coming in with one of the best run differentials, 177 runs scored, 111 runs allowed. Beautiful, beautiful differential there. On the other side, the Colorado Rockies, 137 runs scored, 144 runs allowed. So they're going to allow some runs in this series. And hopefully the bats are flying, the balls are flying out the park when it comes to the Braves offense. The Rockies, 5-5 in the last 10 games. Braves coming in with a 7-3 record in the last 10 games. Who to keep an eye out for when it comes to the Colorado Rockies? Hunter Goodman. Keep an the on that guy. He's pretty good, guys. He's pretty good. I saw him over here with the Hartford Yard Goats, double 18 for the Rockies, about 45 minutes away from me. I saw him, I don't think it was last year, because last year they called him up. It might have been the year before that. I did see him a few times, and every time I saw him, I'm like, yeah, this guy's going to be good. And look at him. He got called up last year, I believe. He was solid. And then this year, man, he's still doing good. He's going to be one of the top catchers in the league, man. Hopefully he can keep it up. And it's just tough out there with the Rockies, you know. It's tough out there, but he has 9 homers right now, 14 RBIs, and he's hitting .257. So, I mean, if I didn't have Drake Baldwin, I'll be taking that any day. Also, keep an eye out for Troy Johnson. He's hitting .313, 2 homers this season, 16 RBIs. Mickey Moniak, .315 with 8 homers and 17 RBIs as well. So keep an eye for those guys. The offense is looking pretty good there for the Rockies. They're not as bad as previous years, which is good to see. And they got a lot of good players coming up. Like I said, when it comes to me going to see them with the Yard Goats, they got some pretty decent players. I think they made the playoffs. I don't think they made it last year, but the previous year they did make the playoffs. So, you know, they got some up and coming talent there. So hopefully they're able to develop and go up to Colorado and do their thing. I love when the Rockies are good, man. This is such a fun team when they're good. It's such a fun environment to play in. So, yeah, hopefully they can get back. It's just a tough division they're in with the Padres and the Dodgers. So they got a long ways ahead of them. But that's all we have for the Braves forecast. Make sure to keep an eye on those games starting tonight. I'm going to try and stay up for those games because some games, they start late and they end late. So we'll see if I can make it through tonight's game. And Saturday's game, I don't think I'm going to make it through. I'll just be honest. I don't think I'm going to make it through because I'll be slumped, bro. By the time these West Coast games start, I'll be done. Especially, at least weekend, the weekend games I might be able to do, but weekdays is forget about it, bro. Forget about it. I'll probably watch like 2 innings. That's about it. But thank you guys. That's all I have for the Braves forecast. Let's head into the MLB real quick, see what's going on, and then we'll take off for this episode.
It's time for the MLB.
Welcome to the MLB, where we catch up with the action from around the league. The Marlins, they win a series at Dodgers Stadium for the first time since 2018. They went in there and stunned the Dodgers. The Mets, 10-21 start. That's their third worst record for the first 31 games in franchise history. So the third worst record in franchise history through 31 games. And they said that they're not firing Mendoza. Pretty much not a thought right now, that it's not an option, that it's not his fault. I mean, I get that part, but still, you got to shake things up sometimes, as we saw with the Phillies and the Boston Red Sox. Phillies, I think they walked off 2 games yesterday. They had a doubleheader. I think I saw a headline that said they walked off 2 games. I think they won 3 in a row already. So, hey, maybe the Phillies are starting to heat up with that managerial change. Don Mattingly at the helm. The St. Louis Cardinals, they sweep the Pirates. That's a 4-game win streak for them. Pirates with an L5 next to their record. Hopefully they're able to turn it around. They got a series that I want to highlight for you guys. I'll do that shortly. The Angels with an L6. I think they're 12-20 right now. Not a good look out in LA. Is Mike Trout ever going to play a playoff game ever again? I don't think so, guys. I think we've been robbed of that. That was a one-time occurrence. But yeah, that's all we have around the league. The Arizona Diamondbacks, Edelmaro Vargas, he has a 26-game hitting streak. We'll see if he's able to continue that tonight. And then a few series to watch for. I was going to say that one, the Cincinnati Reds at the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Reds, first place right now in the NL Central with a 20-11 record. Pirates right at 500 with a 16-16 record. Another series I want you guys to keep an eye on. The Dodgers will be in St. Louis facing the Cardinals. Dodgers coming in with a 20-11 record. St. Louis playing good ball at 18-13. And then a series of 2 struggling ball clubs. The Houston Astros at 12-20, and then they'll be at Fenway Park facing the Boston Red Sox, who are 12-19. We'll see if one of these teams are able to turn it around during this series this weekend. That's all I got, guys. Just keep an eye on those 3 series. Keep an eye on the Braves this weekend. Hopefully, like I said, you guys are able to stay up and watch these entire ball games tonight and tomorrow, because they start late and they end late. So until then, we will see you guys next time on The Chop Seat.